Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be discussing on why you shouldn't use a micro SD card in your DSLR camera. First of all, if your camera was designed to use a micro SD card, the manufacturers would have created a slot for a micro SD card. But no, they created a slot for an SD card. So why use a micro SD card? For you to be able to afford a DSLR camera, you should be able to afford an SD card, right? Now, first of all, using a micro SD card in your camera is likely to slow down your work. Slow down your work in what sense? Even if your SD card has a higher bit rate, the adapter you are using with it is likely not going to have a higher bit rate, and so therefore it's going to slow down your work reading onto the micro SD card. Secondly, using a micro SD card is probably going to make you lose all of your work. Why? The possibility of having the micro SD card properly inserted into the adapter is thin. Honestly, why risk it when you can get a proper SD card? When you are using a micro SD card, you are likely to overwork your camera, because aside the fact that your camera is trying to transmit the data into your micro SD card, it is also transmitting it through the micro SD card adapter. Now it's giving it a lot of work. Now your camera is going to overheat, and if your camera overheats, if you are using some versions of camera, your recording will stop at one point in time due to high temperature in camera. And so let's assume you are covering a wedding with a micro SD card and suddenly your camera stops due to overheating. What will you tell the bride? Assuming at that point in time, that is when they are putting the ring on the finger of the bride. What will you tell the bride, for Christ's sake? So why risk it? Why risk using a micro SD card when you can use a standard SD card? Now, let me tell you the worst case scenario, and this worst case scenario has happened to me. And assuming you are trying to use a micro SD card on your camera and one of the pins here has broken. Now, when you insert it into your DSLR, when you are about to remove it, there is a probability that it is going to hook. And when it hooks and you try to force it out, let's assume you eventually force it out, there's a possibility that you have broken one of the card reader pin in your camera. And when you break it, trust me, there's little or nothing that can be done about it. And honestly, I won't want my enemy to be in that shoe. I've been there, and it led to a series of chain reaction that made me lose my first camera. So I will advise you, instead of going for a cheap thing, go for the standard SD card in your camera, and you will never regret it. Thank you for watching today's video. Please, if you like it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the like button. Also, please share with your friends, and if you have anything to say, do comment below. Thank you, and do have a nice day.